Good morning, Ed here, W4ARB, Port Royal State Park. And this morning I'm actually waiting on another YouTuber. He's primarily a voice guy, but I saw him on YouTube. He had very informative videos, and I really like watching him and seeing some of his ideas on the things that he makes and does. And so he lives in Franklin, Kentucky. And his name is Jerry, and I reached out to him and said, hey Jerry, would you like to do a meetup at Port Royal State Park? And that's where I'm at this morning. And it's a brisk 30 degrees. So I've set up my Chelegance MC750 here behind the vehicle there in the grass. I plan on operating in the vehicle today, just because CW and cold hands just don't get along. So we'll be waiting on Jerry. We're going to meet up at about 9:30. I got here a little bit early. It's about 8:15, I think. 8:30 maybe? I forget. Anyway. I think he had the idea that we could work at the same time, so he asked me if I had any bandpass filters, and I do. However, I did some testing, and I found out that voice and CW just doesn't get along at the same time, even if each party has a filter on. So I could put a 20-meter filter on my radio and give a 17-meter filter to the guy beside me. But I found through a lot of testing that, matter of fact, it was back when I did a Tin Park Rove, and the guy that I went with, we went to our first park, and we both set up. And we went so early in the morning it was dark when we got to our first park, and we were actually both able to activate. One of us on 40, one of us on 30, and then when we jumped and moved to the next park, after just barely making the minimum contacts required, we got to the second park, and we attempted to set up and activate at the same time. He was voice and I was CW. Didn't work. And then the third park didn't work. So we found out very quickly at the second park that once that sun came up, it was quite a bit different. That we weren't operating on adjacent bands without getting into each other. And I think primarily he was getting into me. His voice was really eating me up on the CW portion of the band. Even we tried a few different things. We tried him on a vertical and me on an in-fed half wave, and tried putting my in-fed half wave oriented so that his vertical was in my null. And we tried broadside, we tried in the null, we tried a bunch of things, but it just didn't work. So I'm going to get here, get a little bit early, get set up, and at least get an activation completed, and then wait to meet Jerry. And yeah, it's always fun to get out and meet another person at the park. Even if they're voice and I'm CW, or even if he does FTA, whatever. Just kidding. That way you can see each other's setups. You can see coax used, antennas used. How do you set up in the vehicle? What's a comfortable position? Driver's seat, passenger seat. What do you do for logging? How does that person log? And you get to exchange ideas, and that's what this hobby's all about. So stay tuned, and we'll see if we can get this recorded in some sort of fashion and see how it goes. And action. Okay, here I am. I'm in the vehicle. I don't think I've recorded inside this vehicle before, so not sure how it's getting around there. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started. We're on 7.066. I did this a couple times already. I just forgot to hit record. And the 40-meter band's been pretty quiet. So we'll see what happens. Using the Polo app on my phone, folding keyboard, pen and paper just for scribbling. Cup of coffee, 32 degrees. The 40-meter band seemed pretty quiet, so we'll see what happens. I might have to just go ahead and switch right to 20 or higher. There we go. Good morning, Tom. Five 559. Loud signal. Good morning, Jeremy. Arkansas, W4ARB. Thank you. Arkansas. I think that's sunny. Yeah, it is. Good morning, sunny. Since I flubbed up his little call there, I made sure I called him by name. Five 7-9. West Virginia. I thought so. Good morning, John. A little bit of QSB on 40, isn't there? .449, they're free, John. RST reports are free. Good luck. Anybody else there? And it just... .549. There we go, the familiar call. .559. That's K9IS. There we go. Thanks, John. You got an extra dip. Thank you, Indiana. This is Michigan. Hey, all right. All right. Bonus. 6x59, Michigan. Illinois. There it is. Did it? Did it? Thank you, Illinois. This is. I think. There we go. KE8PTX. Okay, so I just said I'm going to QSY. So we have a successful activation in there. We've got about 15 QSOs in 17 minutes. And so I had W8SOO come in there. So for a bonus in today's video, I'd like to know, what all did we send to Ken? Send it to me in an email of what I replied to Ken, W8SOO. Get it all in there, all the message that I sent to him. This is such a pivotal time here for me that I am digital logging without having to use paper. That was a milestone. Another milestone is, and I talked this over my Elmer, Kilo Mike 6 November, and Ken, W8SOO, both my Elmers, that I just talked in CW. That's a milestone. Like, I had sent a message to Ken. He didn't engage me in a lot of conversation back. I think he knows, because when you're out doing POTA, you just want to go, okay, thanks. And also, too, I don't know, Ken might not have known I had pencil and paper ready just in case he conversed back with me. So thanks, Ken. I know you watch these videos. Thanks for that. So it's a milestone to be able to talk in Morse code and say what you want to say. It is doable. I'm about 2 years into my journey, a little over 2 years of Morse code. The Long Island CW Club is what got me there. Their curriculum that they've written is right on par. As long as you do your BC1, BC2, learn your letters, and then start getting into those intermediate classes, learning the protocols. But before you get out of BC2, you should be on the air. Make sure you start practice sending, though, from the day one that you start learning your dits and das. That's very important. Next, I'd like to absolutely thank my coffee supporters. the folks who buy me a coffee. That's what keeps these fancy microphones and this Action 4 camera. I've gotten a lot of emails about, Ed, what camera do you use? What are you using for sound? So it must be successful. Now, I have had my trials and tribulations with it, updating software, not having the right cord plugged in, not getting power to it, forgetting to charge them, all those noob mistakes. But we all make those, don't we? So I'm going to go ahead and jump out and maybe switch over to 20. Okay, well, we just got back in the vehicle. We got our antenna changed. We're on 17 meters. It seems very quiet. We called QRL already a couple times. I didn't hit record yet. I'm asking his call again. WZ2J. Okay. Okay. Oh, he came up. New Jersey. Vin. Wasn't sure if he had a K at the end of his call sign. K4NY. Mm-hmm. Oh, Florida. Hope you're warm down there, Mike. Hmm. Familiar call. Brian in Rhode Island. Good morning, Ed. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to jump out again. That last call, he's in Florida, and he has been trying to get Tennessee on 10 meters. And we've been trying, but no luck. I'm going to QSY to 10 meters, throw my call out there. I've made my activation, just waiting on Jerry. I got about 15 minutes before Jerry's supposed to be here. So I'm going to just try to maybe get Ed this QSO here on 10. So I'll be right back. Oh, hey, fancy seeing you here. Just kidding. We just switched the antenna over to 10 meters. So let's go ahead and see if Ed in Florida can hear us on 10 meters. We've already got our activation, so now we're just trying to help out a fellow ham here. Two Ks. You know, I keep forgetting my mic is right here in my pocket this morning. I don't have my fuzzy thing on it because I'm counting on my shirt to act as a windbreak. So hopefully I didn't mess that up and make another noob mistake by not putting the windsock on the mic like I always do. And then I'm holding my key right here next to it, so it seems clacky. So I'm trying to not smack the key, because this key it's the bamatech TP3 key. Highly recommend this key. This has been my go-to POTA key. This or my Palm Radio single paddle lever, Pico paddle. Thank you N8PEM for that. That's a wonderful key. But this little handheld key's been great. Highly suggest the bamatech TP3 key. If you order one, tell him W4ARB sent you. You won't get a discount. I don't get any kickback. I've already bought my key. but it lets him know where his sales are coming from, and I think that's important. You know, if you find out that YouTube is and the YouTubers out there, I think there's been a lot of people who've seen my setup, and I get emails, hey Ed, I got that radio, hey Ed, I got this antenna, and it's working great. My go-to radio at the beginning was my TR45 radio. Used that over 100 plus POTA activations, wonderful radio. Now I'm using the Elecraft KX3 because I'm trying to get up in those higher bands that my TR45 doesn't have. Yeah, I didn't bring the. I have a TR45 skinny in the back. Boy, 10 might be a little dry. I thought that was an M0M coming in there, which came up as an England special contest, and that was Belgium. Right when I was telling everybody thanks, and somebody's trying to come in there. Question mark? QRZ? Meaning who else is calling? I don't know if that's somebody trying to tune to get to me or not. Oh, oh man. You know, I know this call. It's a France call with a Z in it, I think. Somebody else is in there. Okay, there we go. Goodness. Okay, so I started to sweat on that one. CE3FZL. I just couldn't get his call, he was sending me a signal report. I'm like, your call. And then finally I got the prefix and the suffix all in there together. CE3FZL. So it wasn't a France station. There is sometimes a France station where I missed that prefix at the beginning. 9:30. I think Jerry should be here soon. Port Royal. There is a other half of Port Royal, but this is like the parking lot. So I might go investigate to see if Jerry's around. But anyway, stick around. Thanks for being here this long. And anyway, we'll be right back. So, just got a message from Jerry. But what's weird is where it fell in. He says he's on the other side of the river. So I'm got to break down my antenna, and then I'll jump on the other side and meet him. All right. So we've moved. Now I'm on the other side of the river. And we finally got to link up and meet with Jerry. We've been sitting here talking to him for probably half hour, 40 minutes. And he should have probably already made 100 QSOs by now. But, you know, I got long-winded with him. But anyway, here's Jerry over here behind me. He's finishing up his setup in his mighty fine beast wagon there. 1985 Army truck, which is really cool. And anyway, so we're letting him get set up, and we'll quit yakking at him so much. And then once he gets rolling, I might kick on the camera and sit down and just listen to watch Jerry for a little bit while he activates. We completed our activation on the other side of the river, so we're just going to let Jerry go for it and get his activation complete and sit and compare ideas and antennas and different things. But let me walk you over and show you his antenna that he has set up. He's running, it looks like about a 50-foot piece of coax there. And then let me see if I can turn this thing around and do like this. Flip, touch that. All right, so he has a tripod that he got at a garage sale, and he said it had a telescope on it. And he's went ahead and he put a piece of PVC cap down there. He put a piece of pipe in there, and then that piece of pipe holds one of these Japanese fishing poles that goes up there. It goes up there in the air about 15 feet or so, 16 feet. And then he has his common mode choke there that he's made. Built that on a piece of plastic with two connectors. It's toroid wrapped in some RG 213, it looks like, going to his feed point there. So that's his common mode choke. And then coming up here, this is where he has his elevated ground radial going out there to a elevated stick. And then he has these connection points along the way, so that if he wants to change his bands, he can unplug and plug as he sees fit to make these for whatever bands that he wants. So he has one of them going there, and then of course he has another one going right down that way, and then of course there's his feed point there. So his driven element feeding up into his feed point, and his driven element's linked as well, so that he can just use, you know, the same wire for multiple bands. And so he has his two radios kind of going out this way, and he says that he's learned that he gets a little bit of gain in this direction whenever he operates with it in this configuration. And then of course, like I say, he's got his coax lined up there going to that really cool truck. And you know what else is cool is that Jerry told me he made this bumper himself. Look at this thing. This bumper is no joke. I mean, this bumper probably weighs more than my vehicle over there. But that's great. This truck will handle it. I actually had one of these trucks when I was in Haiti back in the mid-90s. Of course, we called them Voodoo 1 and Voodoo 2 is what we called our two trucks like this, because they didn't have brakes. But anyway, so we're going to go ahead and let Jerry get to activating, and we'll see him here in a little bit.
And action. All right, not sure where I left off at. I hung up or stopped recording, and Jerry and I sitting had a nice just visit and rag chew and talking about everything. So not sure where I left off. So I forgot what I was talking about when I stopped recording last. But anyway, hopefully this video give you some good call sign copy practice. And again, thank you to my Coffee Crew Coffee Fun supporters, and thanks to Jerry for meeting up with me today. It was really interesting to see another guy do his setup, and showed him my stuff as well. And it's nice to share ideas like that. And in the description of this video, you'll find a link to Jerry's channel, and please make sure you go over to his channel and like and subscribe, and maybe help me encourage him to learn some CW. But anyway, thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. I'm at W4EMB.